let's talk about Caitlin Clark and ESPN. As we used to call it on the other channel, the Marxist ESPN of China. That's right, the Disney-owned product out there trying their best at engagement farming. Well, I'll be the first to tell you, I'm guilty of that too. I mean, they always say, well, that's a clickbait title. Well, yeah, you want people to actually click on your video and watch it. So, you know, if there isn't a certain amount of that, you won't make it on YouTube. Forget it. I mean, if you're not willing to get a little clickish to the baitish going on, you've got no hope. It's not going to happen for you. Because unfortunately, that's just what people respond to and click on. It is what it is. Now, that said, I always bring the truth. And in this case, ESPN is getting crushed. And this came out about a day and a half ago. And like I like to do, I sat back and waited. All right. And I wanted to see the social media response for what was absolutely an absurd take by ESPN. Believe it or not, it wasn't Stephen A. Smith this time or Ryan Clark. It was just ESPN in general. ESPN doing ESPN things. And in this case, not picking Caitlin Clark as a top 2 greatest college basketball player of all time. The disrespect is real. And
ladies and gentlemen, we have an absolute travesty on our hands. ESPN just released their top 5 women's college basketball players, and somehow, Caitlin Clark isn't number 1. Fans are livid, WNBA analysts are calling it blasphemous, and we're here to break down exactly why ESPN's list is complete nonsense. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because True Angle Sports is bringing you the realest takes on all things basketball. Let's get into it.
Guys, it's going to get worse. As we get closer to the tournament and we head into March Madness now, oh shit, the Juju Shields are going to come out of the woodwork in the media because that's their next big hope, right? Now, I'll be the first to tell you, what Caitlin Clark did with the talent on those Iowa teams was nothing short of amazing. But of course, ESPN is not going to give her credit for that. So never mind the accolades. They always want to talk championships. Championships are fine. I get it. But that doesn't always tell the full story. And it certainly doesn't with Caitlin Clark's career in college. Right? So ESPN is getting this as Outkick. ESPN's getting annihilated for disrespecting Caitlin Clark. The Indiana Fever superstar was a dominant force in college at Iowa. We all know that. She changed women's college basketball and now pro basketball forever, I guess, or until she's no longer around and people go back to not watching.
So, let's get straight to business. ESPN's list of the top 5 women's college basketball players was supposed to highlight the best of the best. But when it dropped, fans were shocked at how blatantly wrong it was. Here's what they rank now, let's be clear. These are great players, no doubt. But to rank them ahead of Caitlin Clark? That's where the disrespect comes in. The backlash was immediate. Twitter, Instagram, and sports forums exploded with fans calling out ESPN for this absolute joke of a ranking. One fan tweeted, "Caitlin Clark is literally breaking NCAA records, and ESPN has the audacity to put her below? What a joke." Another posted, "At this point, ESPN rankings are just for clicks because there's no way they actually believe this nonsense." And it wasn't just fans. Former WNBA players, analysts, and even current coaches weighed in, saying this ranking was outrageous and completely dismisses Caitlin Clark's historic season.
Clark brought historic ratings with her as well as became an All-American and the best player in the country. She left the Hawkeyes as the all-time scoring leader in major college basketball history. That's man or woman, all right? Just putting that out there. Impressive. ESPN released a video titled, "Is Caitlin Clark the greatest of all time in college basketball?" ? Interesting. I mean, I get what they were trying to do there. I mean, honestly, they even put her right up front. I see what you did there. Now you'd think, given the title of the video, she'd be in contention for the top spot. The correct answer is yes, but that's not what happened. The 10-minute video ends with her being iced out of the top 5. And guys, to be honest with you, I knew this story was going around, but I did not know they did not put her in the top 5. We're just learning that out together. This is what we call engagement farming.
All right, let's get into the numbers, because if ESPN won't do their homework, True Angle Sports will. Caitlin Clark isn't just one of the best players in college basketball. She's on pace to be one of the greatest NCAA players of all time. Here's what she's bringing to the table: leading the nation in scoring with top in assists, creating plays at an elite level, breaking NCAA records nearly every game, unstoppable deep-range shooting, game-changing presence that makes every opponent game plan. Around her, she's not just putting up insane stats, she's making her entire team better. Her court vision, leadership, and ability to completely take over games put her in a league of her own. Let's be real. If Caitlin Clark were playing in the men's NCAA tournament, she'd be getting national headlines every single day. But for some reason, when it comes to women's hoops, the media seems to downplay her greatness.
ESPN used Clark's name and image to drive views despite not even actually including her in the list. The internet was not impressed. I wonder what the list was. I don't even know if I want to. If it's
love
a 10,
Caitlin. Love
here
how
we
she's
go.
transcended the game. I'm not going to go away from that. But in the open, we said, what makes a top 5 player? Winning. The only strike against Caitlin Clark is that she has not won a national championship. And that is the only thing that you can put against her, because the way she has dominated the record books when she was at Iowa was something you cannot duplicate. She's a 3-time NCAA scoring leader and assist leader, a true point guard for the people, 3-time All-American, 2-time Naismith Player of the Year, 2-time AP Player of the Year, all-time leading scorer. She broke the records of Kelsey Plum and Sabrina. Like, literally, there is nobody who has been such a front-facing name through a direct reflection of her skill set. But how can you be a top 5 player if you have not won a title?
It's a great point, which is why I agree with you. Convince me, Ari. We're switching them back.
Again, we read Cheryl Miller's resume. She's a winner. She's a winner multiple times. Yeah. But like, I have a really hard time. It's like painting me.
So the big question: why is ESPN doing this? Is this about pushing other narratives? Are they trying to create controversy for clicks? Or is this just lazy analysis? There's no denying that hype matters in college basketball. ESPN has been known to overhype certain players to build storylines. But when it comes to Caitlin Clark, they seem hesitant to give her the full credit she deserves. Let's not forget how certain networks and media figures try to push balanced narratives, even when the facts are clear as day. It's the same thing we see in the WNBA. Dominant players like Aya Wilson or Breanna Stewart sometimes get underrated because the media wants to spread the attention around. But that's not how basketball works. The best player is the best player, and Caitlin Clark is outplaying everyone in the NCAA right now.
Okay, that's where I'm going to stop this. Am I going nuts, or were those UConn teams like loaded, if I remember correctly? How about some Carolina teams? They had some WNBA players on teams, right? How many WNBA players were really on the floor with Caitlin Clark? I know Kate Martin, and she drugged some teams to championship games that some could argue probably shouldn't even have been in the discussion, but yet they made it. And I'm not trying to crap on Iowa basketball, but you get my point, right? Wow. So I waited for some reaction, and luckily Outkick put it together here.
Now, let's talk about what this means for Caitlin Clark's future and the WNBA draft. If ESPN is undervaluing Caitlin Clark, does that mean WNBA teams might do the same? Could this hurt her draft stock in any way? Realistically, there's no way Caitlin Clark isn't a top pick in the draft. Any team that passes on her is making a massive mistake. But rankings like this have real consequences. WNBA scouts, executives, and even endorsement deals are influenced by media narratives. The fact that ESPN is already downplaying her dominance could lead to serious disrespect at the next level. The WNBA needs players like Caitlin Clark. She's a generational talent, a walking highlight reel, and someone who can elevate the league's popularity overnight. If a team like the Indiana Fever or Washington Mystics land her, it could be a franchise-altering move.
In one clever little rundown for us. So here we go. Can't make clicks without putting Caitlin Clark in the title on the thumbnail. Laugh out loud. 0 people would have watched this without the clickbait Caitlin on the cover. No one. Not Tarasi, not Stewie. No one could have led the Iowa team to as much success as Caitlin Clark. That may be the most valid comment so far. If Caitlin Clark isn't in contention because she didn't win the NCAA championship, then why are you clickbaiting us with the title to this show? Very disingenuous, ESPN. Getting views and trashing CC. Let's not forget, Iowa was Big Ten champions, made it to the finals 2 years in a row. That isn't easy. Does she not get enough credit for just doing it in back-to-back years? That's something to bring up, that she actually took them there in back-to-back years.
But let's make one thing abundantly clear. Fans aren't buying ESPN's nonsense. Social media is flooded with people calling out the disrespect towards Caitlin Clark. Even NBA players and analysts have been chiming in, saying ESPN is way off base with this ranking. It's honestly embarrassing that ESPN is putting out clickbait lists instead of actually recognizing true greatness. And you know it's bad when even former WNBA legends are stepping in to say, y'all need to put some respect on Caitlin Clark's name.
Because we watched it with ESPN's studio folks last year and their analysis people. Don't they have somebody on their staff that's an WNBA analyst that is literally named LaChina James? We literally had that on a t-shirt as a parody for LeBron. That's hilarious. I was like, wait, she's named LaChina James? Is this real? Did you buy her shirt? Question mark. Just wondering. Hilarious. One of our best-selling shirts of all time was the LaChina James shirt. I ought to bring it back.
So, what do you think? Did ESPN just make the worst ranking mistake ever? Is this blatant disrespect towards Caitlin Clark? Or are they just pushing another narrative? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe to True Angle Sports because we're bringing you the realest, no BS takes on everything basketball. This has been True Angle Sports, and we'll catch you in the next one.